good, frigid Monday morning to you here on the Jordy Culotta Show, presented by Go Chevrolet. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Lloyd behind the camera. Golden Band Nick is here. Katie's here. We made an executive decision. Rivs was here all morning and decided before it got real crazy on the road that she was going to head back to her kids, her family, before she might have gotten trapped at the undisclosed location. Katie woke up without power. She doesn't know what she's wearing. She got dressed in the dark, which is a terrible thing to do. We got a lot to do here on the Jordy Culotta Show, and we're looking forward to it. We appreciate your interaction, as always. Got some sports news to lead you off with, including the LSU basketball team picking up a quad one game on Wednesday night versus Ole Miss after their best win of the season on Saturday. We'll talk to their head coach, Will Wade, coming up here at 7:30 this morning. Straight up 8 a.m., good friend Jacques Doucet will stop by. We'll talk some sports with Jacques as we will talk to Jacques about the upcoming baseball season.
TV.
Yes, that was the computer.
Oh.
Do we need a Bluetooth real quick, Lloydie?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep. So we'll talk to Jacques coming up at 8 a.m. this morning. We will also talk to Derrick Stingley Sr., who is a Monday regular with us here on the Jordy Culotta Show. And then Big Ben McDonald will stop by at 9 o'clock. So we'll go a little long here for you.
He coming here?
No, he's not coming in. We're going to call him.
you're gonna say
He's
that
at
would
the
be-
he's at the camp.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be unsafe, dude. That would be
Very
unsafe.
Even though Big Ben's a big hunter.
Yeah, he's seen this weather before.
Absolutely, he loves this. He loves this hunter. He loves this weather. Obviously, with the Lundy Gras edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, a little pre-Mardi Gras, pre-Carnival Day. Not the same. It looks like there are some celebrations happening down in New Orleans, but obviously not the typical celebration. So if you are celebrating this Lundy Gras, make sure you have a good, safe one. It is nasty outside. We have got a text in to Dr. Steve Caparato. He told me possibly this morning, but maybe not with how crazy it could get with the weather and given the update. So if we can get a weather update from Cap, we'll do that. But I can just tell you, it looks bad now and it's getting worse.
Don't have to be an expert today.
Yes. Stay in. The roads are. You caught a little fishtail coming in.
I caught a little Tokyo
I
drift
did.
coming through. I was, wasn't really
boy.
paying attention. I did good to get out of the driveway. Got on the road. Mine started to wander. Caught a little fishtail. Corrected it right back, and then drove very slowly right after that.
Everybody have a good weekend. We will have a weekend review for you coming up here as far as some of the big sports news was concerned. But as we said, Rivers was here this morning. I'm gonna restart this.
Do that again.
But Rivers was here, but she's going to head back to the house to get to the kids, get back to the family before she could get possibly trapped at the undisclosed location. Looking forward to our conversation with Will Wade coming up here at 7:30 this morning. What a huge win for his team. We'll talk about it coming up here in a couple of minutes, but the biggest win of the season, Javonte Smart is a volunteer killer. Another 20-point game versus Tennessee for the Baton Rouge native. Looking forward to our conversation with Coach Wade. Everybody have a good weekend. How was Valentine's Day in the college life, Nikki?
It was pretty good. We went out to Little Village on Friday night.
Okay.
We did our Valentine's on Friday instead of Sunday.
That's pretty cool. Little Village is a good one.
Good spot.
Good
Pretty good
bread.
time.
Did you
Good
go
bread.
for the
Great bread.
Did you go for the dessert, like Happy Valentine's Day
Did not.
that you
We
get
went-
made from the kitchen?
We went to Andy's.
Oh,
Wow.
dessert.
Another trip.
2 trips.
Yeah.
2 trips. How about you, Lloydie?
Not a thing.
Very uneventful?
Yeah.
Yes.
Watched a little golf. Spiethy couldn't get it done, but that's okay.
How about y'all? What was going on at
We
the
met some friends at St. Francis Hill Inn.
Yeah?
Brunch. Valentine's brunch.
Nice.
Nice.
Fun.
Had a very
Good little trip.
blah weekend.
Yeah.
Just about to start over at Angel Oak Home Mortgage, which I'm looking forward to. So I'm getting ready for this mortgage test, which is really taking up a lot of time, but fired up to join the team of Lee Gillian, Matt Lanassa, but have the 20-hour course behind me and now getting ready for the test that's coming up. So that was really kind of my Valentine's Day weekend. Was,
When's the last time you had to study like that?
Golly, Lord, I was thinking about this. It was... obviously college, which was over, 15 years ago. But it's a little different because you have a little bit more of a mature mindset.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
like the last time I did have to study like this, I would procrastinate
You weren't studying
so
like this.
much
Yeah.
that I got to the test and was
like
like,
that before.
oh shit, I'm gonna have to cheat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And you're 15
yeah,
minutes before,
right. I'm
you're
gonna be
like,
like, oh man, you studied right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Can you just slide that Scantron a little to your left?
Yeah.
Make sure that you're.
there's no worse feeling than going into the test. Like, you're
it's the
studying and you haven't
worst.
even gotten to, like, the last
It's
chapter.
the
Like, I didn't even get to chapter 9,
yeah,
dude.
right.
Like, I got 7 through 8 down.
I mean, or you just look at the first two of the terms and you're like,
Panic.
oh my god,
Panic.
oh my god.
I don't know anything.
When you hit that first question, you have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
You're
So
like,
like
oh
the
my God.
mindset. Well, I mean, things are so real now in life.
Yeah, that's
you know
a
what I
little
mean.
different.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah, you
different.
got your priorities in
I mean,
line.
I'm actually trying to like move the test date up.
Yeah,
You know
like,
what
get
I
it
mean?
over
So I
with.
can get
Yeah.
this thing
Never did
done.
that in
Oh, yeah.
And there's
college.
people like that in
Did not do
college.
that in
Yes.
college.
Yeah,
Right.
what? You already took
I mean,
it?
like people
Did I
like this
miss it?
20 years ago. Like, who the hell are you? But no, I get it now. I finally get it. Finally coming around. So what we will. That was kind of the weekend for me. We appreciate you being out there. If you are interacting in the YouTube chat app inside of the bunker is what we're calling it.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. If you have a question for Will Wade, if you have a question for Derrick Stingley, if you have a question for Ben McDonald, who I'm really looking forward to talking to at 9 a.m. this morning about the LSU baseball team and what the potential of this squad is going to look like as they get going on Friday night versus Air Force. Really looking forward to that as we will talk to Ben McDonald coming up at 9 a.m. Remember all the hashtags. You can ask the Jordy Culotta Show, ask the JC Show. We'll answer those questions coming up before we get out of here. The weather is disgusting here on this Monday morning, and does not look like it's going to get better. We mentioned the LSU basketball news, and obviously that's kind of the news of the weekend as the Tigers got out and got another win. This one over one of the top teams in the conference, over Tennessee, 78-65. And then yesterday they got some big news because they had an opening in the schedule with Wednesday with the game that they had reassigned earlier in the season. There was all this gives Wade another quad one opportunity on Wednesday night as they will take on Ole Miss. Tip-off is set for 8 o'clock on ESPNU. So we'll talk to Coach Wade about that and just potentially what that could do and how hot they are right now, man. I mean, LSU basketball with just a dominant win. Looked like a totally different team. They had gotten better against Mississippi State. They had gotten better from Mississippi State to Tennessee, and really a dominant win for good. Are we good on audio?
Yeah, it's buzzing a little bit, but these are things we work out throughout the show. We made it a little reconfigurations over the weekend.
Show looks great though.
Yeah,
Looks
So,
great.
Does
visual,
look good.
the
and
audio
visual
will get
upgrade.
better. We're looking for a new chord, and then after that, I think we'll be good.
The visual upgrade is tremendous. So shout out to Rivers as she was able to tighten up what we look like, at least on
Aesthetically.
Facebook Live and on YouTube if you're watching with the crawler. So when we come back, we're gonna link up with Rivers and see if our FaceTime apparatus that we've worked into the show is going to work. We think it will, which will be huge for us. And we will ask Rivs on her thoughts on the weekend. Make sure that she's made it home safe. As she took off for just a couple of minutes before we went on this morning, we made an executive decision for Rivs to get
She's
back.
home.
She made it.
She's home safe.
Nice. Remember, every day here on the Jordy Culotta Show, our coffee is presented by Metropolitan Health Group. Shout out to the guys over there, Charlie Harvey and Jason Ramazan. Real doctors, real solutions. If you're looking for real doctors, real solutions, get in touch with Metropolitan Health Group. Our friends Jason Ramazan and Charlie Harvey giving us our coffee every day here on the Jordy Culotta Show. And daily, we're powered by Go Chevrolet, online at GEAUXChevrolet.com. Remember, get in touch with Go Chevrolet. If you're looking for new pre-owned vehicles, get in touch with Go, as they just opened up in LaPlace, Louisiana, and they're online at GEAUXChevrolet.com. More of the Jordy Culotta Show as we roll on next. So if you got to get in touch with our guy, Bradley Lynch, over at Advanta Clean, it's not going to be a good day for you. But the good news is if you give him a call at 369-5228, he'll take care of everything. Water, fire, mold. If you feel water on the carpet when you wake up, if you smell fire, if you see mold, get in touch with Bradley Lynch over at AdvantaClean, online at AdvantaClean.com. Call him locally, 369-5228 with a 225 area code. He'll take care of everything. From dealing with the insurance company to coming over, diagnosing the problem, he'll be there within that day. Online at AdvantaClean.com. Water, fire, mold. AdvantaClean.com and our good friend Bradley Lynch. Hey, you know it's no secret what we got going over here at the Jordy Culotta Show. We're trying to disrupt how media and advertising moves forward. My friend of over 35 years, Barrett Blondo, is doing the same thing for real estate with his new company, Falaya. I met with him in his own personal undisclosed location, and I got to see firsthand what Falaya has been doing and what he's been working on. It blew my mind, man. They are putting all the tools once reserved for professionals right in the hands of the homeowner. It's basically for sale by owner on steroids. For more information, give my guy Barrett Blondo a call today at 225-939-6153 or visit him at Falaya. That's FALAYA.com for more info. Barrett Blondo over at Falaya.com. Changing the game in real estate. All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show Daily. We are presented by Go Chevrolet. As says we're connected here, buddy. Should be good. All right, we're gonna have some weekend recaps for you here coming up. Whatever your weekend recap, anything that stood out to you over the weekend, good or bad, hop inside of the bunker. Tell us all about it. If you had something over the weekend that even happened to you personally that you want us to bring up, that we want to celebrate here on the Jordy Culotta Show, we can do that. All right, we're going to try this. Nikki, people are asking about your weekend. I know that you had a big assignment, a big life lesson coming in, or a big life opportunity going into the weekend.
Yep.
May not have worked out how we wanted it to, but still some good news. Tell our listeners how it worked out.
Yeah, I'm going to be the drumline captain for the Golden Man for Tigerland next year.
Nice.
Very excited, along with my co-captain, Tim Marquez. We're going to line on fire. I'm excited.
Good, Nikki.
All right, bro. Well, congratulations.
All right,
So
Nikki
Yes,
boy.
absolutely.
So
We're
proud.
celebrating. We're in a good mood about it. We know it didn't work out, but you know what? It worked out how it was supposed to.
Yeah,
bro.
I agree completely.
You know what I mean? All right, this could be a big step for our show. We may have some FaceTime here that could be working. Let's make sure the audio. Lloyd looks like he's scrambling back there.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's too confident about it. Let's see how we can make this work. Rivers has made it home, which we were concerned about. We wanted to make sure that Rivers did make it. Rivers, can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Hey.
Okay, I do hear some audio
We can
there.
hear you.
Lloyd, no need to panic.
No panic, I just can't get the video on.
Okay, that's what it is, the video. Rivs, tell me about the ride home. How was it?
Uh-oh.
I see. We're back.
You got me?
No.
Yeah. Tell me about the ride home.
Oh, this is when you tried it once.
Yes. We'll have to go back to it. But Rivers was here and she went back home. But we're trying some FaceTime where we can start doing some video with our guests here. We workshopped it a little bit last night, and it was working. We're going to workshop this over the break to make sure that we can have it for upcoming shows. But we think that could be a cool addition with some of the guests if we can start to FaceTime and show the video element
of what's going on with the guest, as we will bring that to you here coming up, as we wanted to touch base with Rivers and bring her into the conversation at some point. And see how her weekend was and talk about what was going on. I really want to know what the streets are like right now.
They're wet.
And icy.
They're wet and icy.
And dangerous.
Probably.
We've got 2 meetings on the docket today. Do you think that any of them happen?
Are those meetings still on?
I mean, it looks like one of them is about to cancel, and the other one's going to cancel. So it's going to be a long day inside. Burn a lot of firewood over the weekend, as a lot of fire.
Still going.
So weekend recap here. Let's get to it. I wanted to get Rivers into this conversation, but one of the weekend winners for one of the weekend guys that stood out for me was Skylar Mays. Did you see Skylar Mays the weekend that he had on Friday night? Now Saturday he didn't play as well as he did on Friday night. He had 9 minutes. He played 9 minutes versus Indiana on Saturday night with no points. But on Friday, Skylar Mays, who had just scored 2 points in the previous 20 games of his NBA life, just exploded versus the San Antonio Spurs on Friday. Atlanta lost the game 125-114, and the Hawks right now are in the middle of a skid as they've lost 4 in a row. But Mays had 20 points, 7 of 10 shooting, knocked down 4 of his first 5 attempts from the arc, dished out 3 assists, grabbed a rebound, swiped a steal in 16 minutes. He had been waiting for an extended opportunity. If you've been just kind of following what he's been doing, it's been cool to watch him get an opportunity and finally really break through like he did on Friday night versus San Antonio.
So all that in 17 minutes of play?
Yeah. I mean, and a huge dunk.
In a poster.
Like a poster dunk that's going to live on. And you can kind of see it in his celebration, just kind of the elation of just, I made it. I'm here. Dr. Mays. You know what I mean? The man who, just the guy who has been through everything. I called a lot of Skylar's games in high school.
You did? That's cool.
Yeah, I did. I mean, we did play-by-play for U High basketball and football from 2014 through 2020 through 2019. And really and truly, that's probably considered the golden age of University High athletics.
Yeah.
I mean, they won 3 football state championships. They played for another, and then they won the 3 basketball state championships with Wade Sims was the senior on the three-peat team, but Skylar Mays was the point guard on the sophomore and junior teams. I think that was 16, 17, and then they won it again in 19, or it might have been 15, 16, 17 was the three-peat, and Wade Sims was obviously the headliner on that final one, but Skylar Mays was the point guard on those 2 teams. I remember calling a game. I remember calling a game at Baton Rouge Community College between Brandon Sampson and Skylar Mays, where Baton Rouge Community College, you couldn't put one more person in the gym. And it was a back and forth all night between Mays and Sampson. Sampson's seen a little bit of success on the NBA stage. He's been pretty prevalent on the G League, but both those guys now playing in the league and doing it at a high level. Very impressed with what I saw from Skylar Mays, man, and just had to feel I just feel great for him and his family, Dr. Stan Mays and his wife, in all of their kids that they've supported for so long along the way, and then to now get the opportunity that Skylar had. We'll talk to Coach Will Wade about that coming up here in a couple of minutes on the Jordy Culotta Show. Another weekend surprise weekend standout. How about Cody Ogeron and McNeese football? Anybody see this?
No, I saw it in the document, but not surprised. A little athlete.
Absolutely, man. So we talked to Frank Wilson last week, who's the head coach over at McNeese, and McNeese, the Cowboys, were playing their home opener, right, for the spring football season. Cody Ogeron is the quarterback at McNeese, and they had a huge game.
Double overtime?
Double OT.
It's crazy.
Ogeron has a 19-yard touchdown, and Ed's there. The head coach of LSU is at the game.
How cool is that?
So I mean, like,
Yes.
right? I mean, like, with the schedule now, like it is. I mean, now he has the opportunity to go watch his son play.
That's cool.
Playing in the spring, and in the first game of the year, Ogeron wins it with a with a
20-yard scramble.
game-winning scramble, and then he also throws 3 touchdowns on the evening. Now 2 of them come within the last 3 minutes of the game to help McNeese force overtime, and then they get the winner in OT. So a cool weekend to start competition for the McNeese State Cowboys, going 1-0, and Cody Ogeron and Ed Ogeron was there, and it was good to see a cool weekend for that.
If this schedule kind of picks up with the split between D1 and D2, I guess you could put it that way. Do you think they keep it?
Yes.
Where there's football year round?
I would say why not?
I think I think it's definitely on the table to be discussed because just of the business of football, right? I mean, you got to imagine that going competitively against, all the D1 and Power 5 schools in the fall is just a very it's an unfair. It's not unfair, but it's just a tough spot for schools like McNeese and Division II schools. But now you've got the stage to yourself. You've got the football world to yourself. You've got the football interest to yourself. Now, I don't know logistically how you do it from a draft standpoint and how you take care of everything that goes along with
revenue.
That'd be my biggest question is what do you do if people are going to go to the draft?
The business of football for the next level. I mean, I don't know how you can keep those guys on the same schedule and keep them physically ready to go along with the other guys that are working out for the NFL draft that happens in the spring. It happens in April.
You could almost do it like the MLB draft where you have, supplemental picks and stuff like that. Have basically 2 different drafts, but that's something that's got to be workshopped a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely.
I mean, that is that's a rabbit hole for sure.
Right, but it's cool to see right now at least.
Yeah.
Just you still got football, and we got a friend of the show, Deion Sanders, coming up this weekend.
Hopefully. If we can get him on the show.
No, on
Jackson
the show.
State,
He's playing
yes.
this weekend.
Yeah, well, I mean, the SWAC starts this weekend.
Yeah.
We talked to Roman Banks, and he was talking about getting going there. Make me discoverable here on this phone, so we can get a Bluetooth and get our guest pulled up on phone coming up. But yeah, I mean, like I believe that there is going to be a lot of positive that comes out of the spring only schedule. We're good. Yeah, we're good. All right, now I want to call Rivers. I want to bring her in.
She's ready.
Well, now I know about the Bluetooth doesn't work. You can plug it into your computer, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You got to plug that in.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I gave up on it.
Oh, okay.
I gave up on it. I mean, once it didn't work the first time, I didn't want people to have to see that.
Yeah.
Rivs,
Hello.
how we feeling?
Hello.
So we bailed on the FaceTime.
I saw that.
Yep, but we'll get that good. We'll work that. We will workshop
Nobody
that.
needs to see my face.
It's all good. The graphics look fantastic. A lot of listeners are reacting there, talking about how they're seeing it for the first time. Excellent work over the weekend. Tell me how the streets were getting back home.
The streets were not as bad as I thought they were going to be right now. They're not super iced over quite yet, but we'll tell you the temperature in my car said that the temperature changed 3 degrees from the time I left your house to the time I got to my house. So it's definitely getting colder, like quickly.
Getting colder in here too with no heat running.
Also, I didn't know if y'all knew this. Kevin told me when I got home, half of your neighborhood, is out. So I don't know when you left this morning if you noticed.
Me?
Yeah, Jordy, when you left your house to come here, did you notice that your power was out?
I did not notice that. I left my house so early to get to the undisclosed location that I didn't even recognize. I just thought it was a dark street.
Yep.
But that is good to know that once I get back home that I might be going
could be
home.
out.
Yes, to a dark facility. So we will see if you know what. I usually get a text from my provider.
Okay.
Text.
You did not get the
No.
text.
I did notice
Woke up to no power.
the barbed wire fence was not electrified this morning. I did notice
Oh,
that.
God.
All right, Riz, before we get you back to family life and to the kids, I know that there were some things over the weekend that stood out to you. I finally saw the Britney Spears documentary. I feel
Me too.
terrible for
I watched it
Britney Spears.
yesterday.
I feel terrible for her. I mean, like, how did this
Yeah.
happen? Rivs did a nice job of setting it up, I thought, going into the weekend, but once seeing it for the first time, I got to imagine that I'm related to Felicia Culotta
You have
as
to
well.
be.
I've got to
You
be.
have to be.
You have to be.
We have a lot of the same tendencies.
Well, I don't know. What do you mean?
I just felt like she's kind of like a bulldog. Like once you give her an assignment, like you just point her in a direction. I would have never taken
Real country
the merchandise assignment on the second tour around. If I'm as close to Brittany as Felicia was on the jump, where I mean it seemed like she was almost either her best friend or like, I mean.
In the circle.
Yeah, I mean, she was the
have a
adult in her
choice.
life for at least
She didn't have a
like the
choice.
first time she blew up. And then you're gonna bring me back and put me in charge of merchandise to sell T-shirts? No
And
way.
she did it.
She did do it.
She did it, no question.
She did it. She did it. To which I thought proved her loyalty.
Yeah.
But I thought that it was a disgusting display of just attention and fame being used for all the wrong reasons, man. I mean, it just.
The questions that they asked her in those interviews. I mean, Rivers, I know you were talking about it the other day, and you said you were like teary-eyed, and I was kind of like, I mean, we'll see. Like, I don't know about all that, but I really was like fighting
How you
back tears
feeling?
while I was watching it. Yes, just because of the questions they asked her in some of those interviews. That's insane.
We were talking about that this morning. Like, you could never, ever get away
Ever.
with some of
Never.
those questions.
Ever.
It's
How?
insane.
Well, you shouldn't have been able to get away with some of those questions then.
No.
You know, I mean, like, it was just horrifying to watch.
It
And
really was.
I'm glad that you got, I mean, it's hard to explain when you're talking about it and you haven't seen the documentary. It's hard to describe it because, you know, you imagine Britney Spears and what you think of is that meltdown. But
Yeah.
when you watch this documentary, you're like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
And
You
even
watch
that
it through
part,
different eyes.
that part for I mean, like the picture that lives from shaved head Brittany will always be the one with her in the umbrella chasing
Yeah.
the paparazzi. But like we were explaining this morning, 50% of this staff has kids, or like 50% of this room right now has kids. The other half does not. You have no idea how you're going to react when somebody tells you that you cannot see your children.
Yeah, you
and
don't.
in that moment, that she's driving down the hill, coming from a house that she's paying for, in a gate that's closed and locked up, where people are telling her that you can't see your kids, and they're trying to take pictures of her in the moment, right? Where she's really trying to hide.
Yeah.
I mean, like she's trying to hide herself, and it gets to a point where it's like, all right, you want the picture? I'm gonna give you the picture. You know,
She
because
gives it.
it was
Right.
You're just in a state of mind where it was
But
was
remember
tough.
watching it then? You just watched
Yeah.
it like in
And you're like,
awe.
man,
Like,
this is-
oh my
she's
God,
crazy.
she's lost her mind.
Yeah.
But now it hits different now.
It
watching
definitely
it
does.
now.
Yeah, it's all
Totally
of it. The
different.
shaved head, the umbrella, and you're just like, what did she's come unhinged?
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
when you hear what actually happened, it's like, of course she did.
But when she's
Of
getting
course
the
he came
tattoos,
unhinged.
like
Yeah,
she's like looking back at the camera, like out of that window. That it's so haunting.
It
and it
is.
is. It's like she's just saying, like, here it is.
It is.
Like
you know
you
that,
wanted this.
You
Here
know
all
who's, you know
this.
who's driving her in that gas station right there?
Who?
That's Baton Rouge resident Allie Sims. Remember they're telling
Yep.
her Allie. When they're telling her
That's who
Allie.
that
That's
is?
who that is. in
No
that-
way.
She was her
Yes.
assistant for a long time.
She was her assistant for a minute.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
All right, Rivs, we're gonna get to Will Wade.
Oh,
We'll call you-
wait.
Yeah.
Really quick, just an update on that. The part that I really wanted to talk about was on Friday after we got done with the show and we talked about it, old Justin Timberlake
yeah.
came out with a Notes app apology on his
He
Instagram.
did.
And I don't think I love it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read just a little bit of it. He says, you know, I've seen the messages, yada, yada, yada. I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson, both individually, even though you're writing this to both of them, because I care for and respect these women, and I know I failed. And then he says, I also feel compelled to respond in part because everyone involved deserves better, and most importantly, because this is a larger conversation that I wholeheartedly want to be a part of and grow from. The industry is flawed. It sets men, especially white men, up for success. It's designed this way. As a man in a privileged position, I have to be vocal about this. And so he just goes on and on about his ignorance. But, like, whatever, Justin. Like,
Yeah.
you're only apologizing
Got
because
caught
the
up in it.
documentary came out.
Yeah, he had to get that out there quick.
All right, we'll call
Like,
you.
honestly, though,
Yeah,
I don't know
sorry.
that he does. Like, you know, you had all this time. And
Well, I mean,
he
somebody
brings up
told him to
Janet
get
Jackson.
that out there quick.
Somebody
Oh,
ripped it
yeah.
forward
We're
and
all
said,
watching
you good with this? Yeah, I got the draft already.
It was quick.
He said that since
But he
2001.
apologized to Janet Jackson as well,
Yeah, that
which,
was
if
weird.
you don't know, there's the Super Bowl thing. So what happened with the Super Bowl thing, you know, where he tore her bra off, essentially, he basically put all the blame on her. And so it all fell on her. He didn't know it was all happening. He didn't know it was planned. And so, like, her career, you know, took
Yeah.
a turn because of that.
It
So
did.
anyways, I mean, I guess it's nice that he's apologizing, but it's kind of a little
He should have done
Too
that one
late.
separately.
All right, Rivs,
Yeah.
we'll call you back in the second hour.
right back.
All right, when we come back, we will talk to Will Wade. Huge win for the Tigers over the weekend. Coach Wade stops by next. So if you got to get in touch with our guy, Bradley Lynch, over at Advanta Clean, it's not going to be a good day for you. But the good news is if you give him a call at 369-5228, he'll take care of everything. Water, fire, mold. If you feel water on the carpet when you wake up, if you smell fire, if you see mold, get in touch with Bradley Advanta Clean. Or call him locally, 369-5228 with a 225 area code. He'll take care of everything. From dealing with the insurance company to coming over, diagnosing the problem, he'll be there within that day. Online at advantaclean.com. Water, fire, mold. advantaclean.com and our good friend Bradley Lynch, 369-5228. Hey, you know it's no secret what we got going over here at the Jordy Culotta Show. We're trying to disrupt how media and advertising moves forward. My friend of over 35 years, Barrett Blondo, is doing the same thing for real estate with his new company, Falaya. I met with him in his own personal undisclosed location, and I got to see firsthand what Falaya has been doing and what he's been working on. It blew my mind, man. They are putting all the tools once reserved for professionals right in the hands of the homeowner. It's basically for sale by owner on steroids. For more information, give my guy Barrett Blondo a call today at 225-939-6153 or visit him at Falaya. That's FALAYA.com for more info. Barrett Blondo over at Falaya.com. Changing the game in real estate. All right, welcome back in here to the Undisclosed Location as we were off and moving on this snowy and sleeting Monday. We have gotten confirmation Dr. Steve Caparotto will be stopping by here in a couple of minutes to give us an update on the weather outside as it does not look like it is anything nice coming up here over the next couple hours and couple of days. It was raining. It was raining offense, raining defense. Huge day again for Javonte Smart as the Tigers roll 78-65, which sets up LSU now 13-6 overall and 8-4 in conference play, and they picked up another quad 1-1 game coming up this Wednesday. Coach Will Wade here with us on the Jordy Culotta Show. Boot up, Coach. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good. Little instant reaction from Saturday. You had to like what you saw from your squad.
Yeah, it was one of our better. It was probably our best performance so far. We certainly got some room to improve and some areas where we can get better, and we're going to start attacking those here this morning in a couple hours. But I thought we played with a lot better energy, a lot better spirit. Thought our defensive discipline was better, and I thought some of the ball movement stuff that we did Wednesday night at State carried over to Saturday against Tennessee.
You pick up another quad 1 game versus Ole Miss. That'll be Wednesday, 8 o'clock. It'll be on ESPNU. You can catch it out. You can catch it here locally on ESPNU. That's another piece of good news for you, right? Going into this part of the stretch.
Yeah, it was good. That was, it was weird just kind of doing all the scheduling. We had a non-conference team ready to go to. We were going to have to travel for that as well, and it just made more sense if traveling to Ole Miss is a lot easier than travel. We were going to go to Chapel Hill and play North Carolina actually tomorrow night.
What?
And so, but it was just going to be a travel. It was just going to be a nightmare. We were going to have to leave yesterday. It was going to be, and we were going to have to play Tuesday night, and it was going to be a nightmare. So it was just both of them would have been quad one games. The North Carolina game was a quad one game, and this game is obviously a quad one game. But just made more sense to get closer to 18 SEC games and to be able to go to Oxford, even though it's our second time going there this year. It's just a lot easier trip for us, and it doesn't throw us too far out of rhythm.
Wait, is that game totally washed out for good, or is it like in your back pocket if you have to have this scenario again, you could play North Carolina?
No, it was just one of those deals where we had kind of gotten word that Virginia Tech, we knew late last week Virginia Tech, they were supposed to play Virginia Tech tomorrow on Super Tuesday. And we knew Virginia Tech through some contacts. We knew that Virginia Tech was not going to be able to play the game. And so we had worked it through that. This is one of those deals where they had an open time and we had an open time. We reached out to Houston, and their league did the same thing we did. They rescheduled Houston to go to Wichita State. We'd reached out to Houston, and then we'd start talking to Belmont and Wright State and some of those teams. I was going to call St. Bonaventure. Just a lot of teams to go to on the road. But this was by far, and Scott and our administration did a good job. With everything, but this was by far just the best option in terms of travel, in terms of finances, everything. This was just by far our best option.
Back to Saturday, Andre Hyatt, another start for him. He gives you 8 points, 8 boards. Tell me, am I right in saying that for you to be your best, he's got to be playing? Like, it seems like when you're at your best, he's on the floor.
He's done a great job the last couple of games. He's really hung in there. Hasn't been easy. He started early on in the year, then he played some, and then he basically stopped playing. But he's very, very physical. He does a great job rebounding. He got a foul trying to knock Fulkerson out in the first half. He got 8 rebounds for us. He's making threes. He's 3 of his last 4 from 3. He's 2 of 3 yesterday, or 2 of 3 on Saturday, and he had a big one to begin the second half at State. And so, he's making shots. He's physical. He knows where to be positionally, defensively, and he'll mix it up. He'll mix it up on the glass, and so he's a very, very important part of things. And just very, very proud of him, and very, very pleased how he's stuck with it. And, you tell kids all the time that comes back around to you. It's going to come back around. You just don't know when you're going to get that opportunity. And, just similar to Imwani, took advantage of the opportunity when earlier in the year on Hyatt. Hyatt's now taking advantage of the opportunity with Imwani. And so that's the way it works. And, just proud of Hyatt for continuing to work, continuing to do what he needs to do to put himself in position to take advantage of this opportunity.
Javonte has been a volunteer killer. He's got 60 in 3 matchups against Tennessee, but it seems like right now he's playing with a lot of confidence over the past couple of games. What's different in him, and what do you see from your junior as you guys head into March?
No, he's just been unbelievable. He's such a hard worker. He was in here shooting again yesterday when we were in here after he got his massage. So, he's just a hard worker, very, 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 very diligent, always after it, always on point, and that's allowed him to have a lot of success. You think about since the Texas Tech game, he's played as well or better than anybody in the conference, not just on our team, with what he's been doing. And so he deserves everything he gets. He works extremely hard. He does what you're supposed to do, and it's paying off.
Both LSU and Arkansas are locked in a tie for second place in the league, with both teams at 8-4 and 3 games behind Alabama at 12-1. You mentioned the improvement that you saw from Mississippi State into Tennessee. Coach, things like the special teams, inbounds, side outs, you guys look like you're getting some execution in that part of the game. What has been the emphasis in coaching this group up the last couple of weeks?
Well, we've been back to doing some of our morning work where we have some extra time to do a lot of the special situations and all that sort of thing. We haven't, we didn't do as much of that earlier in the year, and that's on me. We've typically been really, really good and all that stuff, and we haven't been as good this year. But I think we're getting better. We're improving, and hopefully it's not too late for us. So we've got to just continue to improve, continue to work on it, and I think we'll see the dividends here down the stretch. But our guys executed well on Saturday. I thought we did a good job baseline out of bounds. The other thing is our baseline defense has been really good all season. We haven't given up a whole lot baseline out of bounds defense wise, and that's been good all season. So that's been critical and certainly needs to stay that way.
First 20 minutes for Trendon on Saturday, he looked very comfortable. He played a really good game on Saturday versus Tennessee. What'd you see from him last time out?
Yeah, I thought he was solid. I think he's rounding back into form. He had a solid game against Mississippi State, and we just got to keep improving, keep getting better, and I think he's going to be poised for a strong finish here.
What's the challenges of playing a team a second time? You mentioned you'll face Ole Miss and Coach Kermit Davis for the second time this season coming up on Wednesday night. What's the challenges that presents to you?
Well, there's quite a few. First, they're the hottest team in the league. I mean, Schuler and Romello White are just absolutely killing people. They've won 4 straight, including 2 over ranked teams at home. They beat Tennessee at home, and they beat the brakes off Missouri at home. Picked up a big road win Saturday night at South Carolina. So they're as hot and playing as well as anybody in the team, anybody in the league. They're veteran guys. They're seniors. Schuler and Romello White are leading the group. They're playing bigger. They put Allen in the lineup. That's a 4. Rodriguez is a very good 3-man. Joyner's playing well. The 2 guard. He's a mid-range specialist, and he's really shooting it well and got his step back and got his game going. So they're playing well. They're physical. They're just pounding people on the glass. Romello White and those guys are just annihilating people on the glass. So it'll be a big challenge. They're playing quite a bit better than they were the first time when we went up there. They shortened the rotation to 7 guys basically is what they're playing major minutes, and I think those guys have responded to that. So be a big challenge, and we're going to have to change some things that we do, and that's the fun of it. It'll be a really good game. It's a quad 1 road game. It's a great opportunity for us, and another chance for us to try to take advantage of an opportunity.
Darius gave you 16, but he really made the difference on the glass on Saturday. What has he given you right now since coming back from the ankle?
He's just the heart and soul of our group. I mean, when he's out there, we're just so much tougher. He's a guy that gets on the floor for loose balls. He dove on the floor and got a foul on a kid when he jumped on top of Days after Days was first to the floor right there in front of our bench in the first half. And so he just does all the things that really help you win. And he's a winner, man, and he contributes to winning as much as anybody we got.
How good do you feel for Dr. Skylar Mays with a career-high 20 on Friday versus the Spurs with a poster dunk? He didn't play as well on Saturday night, but it looks like he's starting to catch his wings in the league.
Very excited. I was texting with him actually Friday night and Saturday, and very excited for him. And he's doing a great job. His brother Spencer's actually walked on at this break, so we have Spencer with us.
Wow.
But no, he's doing a phenomenal job. And you got to do what he did when you get an opportunity. Their starters didn't play well, so they played the bench guys. And when you get that opportunity, you got to take advantage, and he's done that. Nas has played really well this year, so our guys are doing a nice job.
I know how you like to section off the season and have your team playing right throughout each part of it. Where are you now as your team? It looks like you're starting to catch your footing and heading into March. How much does the intensity turn up, or how much do things change around the facility?
No, we try to crank it up another level, try to spend some time on a lot of the detailed stuff. And so that's what we'll do. We're in the final, I break the conference into 6-game stretches. So we're in the final 6 now. We're two-thirds of the way through the conference season. And now it's time to finish strong and get as many wins down the stretch as we can to position ourselves as well as we can in March. But March is all about, making the fewest mistakes, having the most discipline, and we've got some work to do in those areas, but we're going to attack it and work.
Coach Will Wade from LSU Basketball. Tigers are hot right now for a win versus Tennessee on Saturday. They will travel to Oxford on Wednesday night to take on Ole Miss, as Coach said, one of the hottest teams in the league, and then they'll be back home to face Auburn on Saturday. Boot up, Coach. We always appreciate the time. Have safe travels.
Thanks. Boot up, guys.
Yes, sir. There he is, Will Wade, checking in this morning from LSU Basketball, as the Tigers right now are 13-5 with the win, the latest win, as that was the win of the year.
Should
That
I
was
tweet about that? Should I tweet anything?
You're
I
safe
almost.
now.
I should. You know what? I should have. I should have. Could have. Would have. I should have. Could have. Would have. Situation right there with the interview. I should have said, Coach, you got the culprit on the line here.
Anything you got any words?
The one that you served up that beat down to in Starkville that you were asking for, just a little in return.
And I thought we're gonna. How do you think he hits the pavement today? You think he goes treadmill? Does he get the run in?
I would go treadmill.
What?
for
No,
sure,
that's
bro.
treadmill
Yes,
day.
Everyday
treadmill.
runner.
He looked
He
out
likes
the
to-
window.
everyday
He likes to
runner.
brave the elements.
I was leaving the
runner.
abode, man. There was someone walking a dog outside this morning, man.
I
What's
saw
going
some-
I mean,
on?
you still have to walk your dog.
I saw some
Your
people
goats and
yesterday
whatever.
afternoon, evening, like running the lakes in that wind off the water.
They're
I mean,
not from
the
here.
wind
was wild
They're not from
yesterday.
miserable, man.
And you're exercising on top of that.
Miserable.
I would argue the wind's the worst part.
So wait, do you walk the goat around the neighborhood?
Yeah, we put him on a leash. I mean, you don't have to walk him like you do a dog to like.
So you don't have to walk him.
No, you don't have
but you,
to.
Y'all do.
You parade him
Well, yeah,
around.
I mean, he's
Yeah,
fun.
right. It's the
Little
goat.
barrow.
And it never
That's
fails.
right.
Somebody puts a car in reverse every time.
Has
That's
to.
Is that a goat?
Wait,
No, it's a dog. Tell him to bark.
woof. So if you let him off the leash, would that be dangerous? Like, would he walk around the neighborhood? Would he?
He's too scared. No,
Okay,
he's
he
not
wouldn't.
leaving us.
I know they get a little aggressive.
House goat?
He's not leaving us. House goat.
House
He's in
goat.
front of the fireplace right now.
Oh, living the life.
He's living the life.
Yeah, Burrow knows.
All of your like merch tweets with him in it, like perfectly crop him to where it's just like the merch. Then
Yeah.
you open it and it's like a picture of a
I
goat
know.
in the
It's
merch,
amazing.
and it's great.
amazing. I know, right?
quality
He's a
content.
good model. He's a good model.
All right, so we want to get an update here from Dr. Steve Caparato, which I'm reaching out to now here to see how his time is looking on what I can imagine is a very busy morning for him over at WAFB, whether it be reporting on the streets or the weather and what's coming up today. We're going to talk to Ben McDonald coming up here at 9 a.m. We're going to talk to Jacques Doucet coming up here in a couple of minutes as Jacques makes his debut. We had invited Jacques out to the Undisclosed Location. I think that he got a little late start on his trek in this morning, and in doing so, the roads may have iced over, so we may have to push back his debut on set. But he will call in here at 8 a.m. this morning. We'll get some stories from him. We'll start to look ahead to the LSU baseball team. We'll focus on the LSU basketball team, but I'd like to get his thoughts on some of the hires that have been made. Saints making the news over the weekend as our boy Willie Clapp safe again.
Let's go.
As the Saints have released veteran offensive lineman Nick Easton. They made that move on Friday. That'll save him more than $5 million against the salary cap. Easton, who began his career with the Vikings, was a pretty valuable fill-in for New Orleans over the past 2 seasons. He started 15 games, but he landed on the IR last month, which seemed to kind of be and seal his fate after multiple concussions. He was due nearly $6.5 million this season coming up. So he was released on Friday as the Saints make some news there. So we'll talk to some other NFL news that we hadn't gotten to. Is J.J. Watt is available in Houston. How crazy are things in Houston?
Dude, I mean, like, he's just falling apart, man. What's going on?
I mean, the example of like the Bengals in the 90s, man.
And the craziest part is the people who are like the new coach and everyone's like, oh, Deshaun's a Texan. Oh yeah, he's staying here. It's like, dude, like
wake up.
Are you living in the same reality
Like,
as the rest
what are you
of us?
looking at, man?
Even if you don't trade him, he ain't playing. He's
Right.
not taking
No,
a snap.
absolutely
he'll
not.
take that money's swirled away for if I have to sit out 16 games.
So J.J. Watt got on social media on Friday and
Made
had
it all about JJ.
as J.J. does, make sure that the camera's close enough to pick up nothing in the background and pick up everything in his face. But
Surprised he wasn't working out during it.
But Watt said that I've sat down with the McNair family and I've asked them for my release. We've mutually agreed to part ways. He's been there for 10 years. You know him from Wisconsin a couple of times. He's been the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Those days are behind him. They can obviously help a championship contending team right now.
Oh yeah.
Does this feel like Tampa Bay too?
It feels like the Steelers. The little get the bros
I wanna
together.
see
It
the
kind of
Watt
feels like
brothers,
Green
bro.
Bay.
Yeah, I can see that too.
It kind of feels
Yeah,
like Green Bay's
maybe.
from Wisconsin. It's where he makes his offseason. He makes his
Yeah.
offseason home there.
And his undisclosed location, which seems a little bit nicer than ours.
It does. It does. A couple of $100 million contracts will do that for
Yep.
an
Yeah,
undisclosed
just a
location.
little bit.
Just wait, boys. Just wait.
That's right. That's right. Just right around the corner here. So Watt is on the. He's out there. He's available. Yeah, but Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, obviously with his brothers, with the Watt Bros, would make a lot of sense.
I think the one way, like, biggest argument you could make for Tampa is that he has made it very clear that he wants a ring right now. So he's going to take whatever he can take. He'll take a 1-year deal to do whatever in Tampa, and then he'll go, get his money somewhere else.
Right. Yeah, right off into Steel Town with the brothers.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys, man, are like set up to go get a ring with Tom Brady.
I know.
mean,
I just don't
it
think-
feels
I wish it wouldn't have worked because then they wouldn't be doing the down.
Yeah,
It's like, well,
right.
Tampa Bay, you got ring. I'll take the men.
Like, I want to see the Watt brothers so bad, but I think he'll do it in, like, 22 or something. Because,
Yeah.
like, I feel like that's not really a contender right now. I mean, as much
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
they
we
were
don't
in the
know
playoffs, but, I mean, they really did not look like they belonged there at all against the Browns. So,
Yeah, it's in his look, he's broken down. I mean, he is not the same player that he was even like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He's just been injury after injury. But if he can get into a rotation where he's got some guys around him,
Him and JPP coming off the edge.
oh,
I
my
mean,
God.
good Lord, man, where it takes some heat off of him and he doesn't have to play every snap and he doesn't have to have he doesn't have to have that pressure on him of playing at such a high level every down. Man, that kind of that could be scary.
You can see a transition like Clay Matthews did from Green Bay to LA, I think, in that similar
Yeah,
kind
just
of role.
just be a rotational guy
Yeah.
where you come in and like, all right, JJ Watt's in the game. He's coming, and then he can do it for two downs.
Right.
Yeah. My favorite part of the video is when Watt said that remember when he was giving the shout out to Houston
But
and he told him about booing him on draft night?
It's like,
hey, Houston, you should be nothing but love.
Yeah.
Except for draft night.
It's
when
all
you
been
booed
love
me.
here,
Yeah,
Houston.
but
I
it's
mean, I
all
felt
good.
that from my heart, man. I'm all about Houston. I love Houston, except on draft night when you booed me.
But it's all good, but like we're good.
Wait. So what's it about, man? All right. So Caparato said things are getting crazy in his world. He's got hits coming up all over the place. We'll see if we can't squeeze one in between the top of the hour and we hook up with Jacques Doucet. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll see if we can't link up with Dr. Caparato, and we will set up Jacques' conversation coming up here at 8 a.m. from the Undisclosed Location, the Jordy Culotta Show. Remember, every time we talk to Will Wade, it's brought to you by Phil's Oyster Bar. Phil's has a great Lenten menu with fried seafood every Friday during the Lenten season. That's to add on to the great seafood selections that they already have on the menu. They're located in Southdown Shopping Center, but you can also shop them online, or you can check out the menu online at philsoysterbar.com. I'm sure we'll be in there at some point. I'm sure. I don't know if they're open today. I mean, if anybody could brave the elements, it would be Piazza and the crew.
Snowing or something.
This is
so.
not Baton Rouge conducive. Everybody's
Maybe
just kind of
not.
like, what are you doing?
I don't know when thunder and lightning and snow has
I'm
happened here
seeing
before.
white on the trees. Are we getting snow?
No, it is
It
definitely
says that
it's a
it's snowing.
postcard day at the Undisclosed Location.
very
If you want to take a couple of pictures, today would be the day just to kind of send them out.
It's 25.
It's
and-
25
and
degrees.
sleeting and thundering. So
Well,
I don't
if
even
it's
know
25,
what
it's
We're just
gotta
getting
be,
them all.
It's got to
I
be
don't even
snowing, right?
understand
What
that.
other weather can
Like,
you have?
doesn't it automatically snow? I mean, I don't know.
That makes me so.
What do you
I've
mean
seen snow
automatically?
I've seen snow like if it gets below 32, doesn't it just snow like it's snow? and not anymore?
No. I mean, there has to be precipitation. I mean,
Just
But
cold
no,
air.
I'm saying like
the
if it's
32
raining.
doesn't. Oh,
If it's raining and it's below 32, then it's got to be snow, right?
sleep.
Golly, man, look at some of the pictures of the roads coming in.
Oh yeah, from
It's
Mike,
frightening.
dude. The pictures,
Yes.
Mike, and that was like 20 minutes ago, so it's even worse.
We
now.
need to start posting those from Mike on Twitter. Ask Mike
All right.
where he is right there.
Yeah, I'll ask.
Where
Looks like that is an interstate access point. All right, when we come back, we'll talk to Jacques Doucet here on the Jordy Culotta Show.
Like the post.
Hey, you know it's no secret what we got going over here at the Jordy Culotta Show. We're trying to disrupt how media and advertising moves forward. My friend of over 35 years, Barrett Blondo, is doing the same thing for real estate with his new company, Falaya. I met with him in his own personal undisclosed location, and I got to see firsthand what Falaya has been doing and what he's been working on. It blew my mind, man. They are putting all the tools once reserved for professionals right in the hands of the homeowner. It's basically for sale by owner on steroids. For more information, give my guy Barrett Blondo a call today at 225-939-6153 or visit him at Falaya. That's FALAYA.com for more info. Barrett Blondo over at Falaya.com. Changing the game in real estate. So if you got to get in touch with our guy, Bradley Lynch, over at Advanta Clean, it's not going to be a good day for you. But the good news is if you give him a call at 369-5228, he'll take care of everything. Water, fire, mold. If you feel water on the carpet when you wake up, if you smell fire, if you see mold, get in touch with Bradley Lynch over at Advanta Clean. Online at AdvantaClean.com. Call him locally, 369-5228 with a 225 area code. He'll take care of everything. From dealing with the insurance company to coming over, diagnosing the problem, he'll be there within that day. Online at AdvantaClean.com. Water, fire, mold. AdvantaClean.com and our good friend Bradley Lynch, 369-5228. Can you be assured that the air and surfaces in your home are clean, sanitized, and safe for you and your entire family? You can now by logging on to Valera.com/Jordy Culotta, where you, your home, your office, your family can be protected 24/7 with active pure technology. This NASA-based science has proven 99.9% reduction of airborne SARS-2 and COVID-19 virus in just 3 minutes. Log on now to Valera.com/Jordy Culotta.
You're listening to the Jordy Culotta Show with Rivers Huey, presented by Go Chevrolet.
Here to the top of the second hour, we'll get to the 8 o'clock hour here at the Jordy Culotta Show as it's sleeting, snowing as we see right outside of one of the exterior views.
I love the snow.
Here at the Undisclosed Location.
Sound like Scarface.
Some rain coming down here and snow on this Monday edition. Appreciate Will Wade for stopping by. Remember, every time Coach Wade stops in, it's brought to you by Phil's Oyster Bar. Best raw oysters in town. Stop in and check out the Lenten menu. Coming up in hour 2, Derrick Stingley Sr. will stop by. We'll answer your questions. If you have questions for the Jordy Culotta Show, ask the JC Show, ask the Jordy Culotta Show, hashtag it, and get inside of the bunker.
I'm going to write it down, so post them.
We will also talk to Ben McDonald. Remember about the merchandise?
Jordy.itemorder.com.
We got some of the feedback that some of the initial orders have started to come in. So we always appreciate you supporting what we're doing over here.
My parents got theirs in. Mom loves the dry fit shirt.
Nice.
She recommends it.
Still waiting on my hoodie. That's okay.
Oh, it's in. I saw a photo
Oh,
of it.
nice. Let's go.
It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Know what that one too.
Cody sent me a photo of it. It's tie-dyed.
Okay, making his
Really on
debut
brand.
here on the show, and we had this set up this morning where Jacques was going to come into the Undisclosed Location. We were looking forward to it. Jacques Doucet, of course, over at WAFB 9. He's crushing it, been killing it with the interviews, had a great sit-down with Scott Woodward. I believe he was the first in the market to talk to Alan Faneca after Faneca had the news that he was going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But you know him, man. Long time WAFB. Also coming off of an Emmy Award.
Let's go, Josh.
Yeah, man.
Really?
Congratulations. Yeah.
Awesome.
Emmy Award for, I believe, one of the pieces last year in the going into the national championship or maybe going into the playoff. Jacques, how we doing, JD? Good morning.
That is by far the best introduction I've gotten, I think, ever.
Wow.
Any kind of show. So
Wow.
I'm doing great, man. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I was definitely hopping in the car and heading down to see you, but I'm checking the email box. We've got every flight out of Baton Rouge canceled today. I-10's closed. There's wrecks everywhere. So it's been a brutal string of weather we're having isn't too fun either. So
yeah,
hopefully we get out of it and have a great spring.
It's going to be a sloppy next couple of days, as it looks like here, for sure. Jacques, we just talked to Will Wade. I know that you were listening to that interview, and he had a huge win over the weekend versus Tennessee. He's won a couple of games here now after his team looked like they were on they were on the fence of possibly going the wrong way at the midpoint of the season. What have you made of the last couple of games, and how do you feel about LSU basketball going into Oxford on Wednesday night?
Yeah, I was at the game on Saturday. Good to see that they've moved their net up, I think, to 27. Once again, another game where you wish we'd be under normal circumstances and have a sold-out crowd and have a rocking building. But, I've always liked the team for the fact that they've had, when you start with Javonte Smart and Derrick days, those are two veteran leaders that were a big part of that Sweet 16 team 2 years ago. And when you add the new pieces around it, certainly I agree with the fact that they were hustling and diving on the ball more than ever. There was one sequence where I think Josh Wall blocked two shots on the same sequence, and LSU got the ball. That fired them up a bit. So, yeah, it was one of their biggest win of the season. 2 weeks ago to the day that they had a 7-point lead with about a minute left and blew the game against Texas Tech, which is now the 7th-ranked team in the country. And, they definitely had some shaky moments down the stretch of this one, but he implemented a new play called Baylor on the baseline, which they stole from Baylor in preparation for Texas Tech, and he said he got sidetracked with other preparation and didn't put it in. That's the play where all 5 guys lined up on the baseline, and then, different guys shoot out and whatnot. So, yeah, great win, and looking forward to them getting into the tournament. And I've always enjoyed covering the NCAA tournament. One of my favorite things about sports, and this year is going to be a very strange situation to see how that's all going to go down in the same state.
Jacques, I know when you guys are doing your reports, you guys are just reporting on the news and just kind of giving the XYZ of what's happening with this basketball team. What's your overall opinion on this group? It's a lot of talent, and it seems like they're starting to play well heading into March. What do you make of the makeup of this team, the way that they're made up and the way that they've been playing?
Well, I think that there's been some games where you scratch your head. Certainly when Alabama came here, I don't know if I've ever seen a team shoot basketball like that before, the way Alabama came in. And, I mean, before you blinked, it was over. And then when LSU went over there, I mean, it was a competitive game for a while. And, I mean, I think I've heard fans sometimes question the effort, question the defense, question even the head coach. But at the end of the day, when it comes to basketball, you're always just remembered for the most part. Did you make the NCAA tournament, and did you win a couple of games, and did you do some damage? So I think Watford, him getting 5 technical fouls this year, that has gotten some people a little perturbed, kind of wondering why that keeps happening. But hopefully he's got that under control. And so we'll see what happens in March. It's crazy. At the game on Saturday, they honored the 15-year anniversary of the 2006 Final Four team, which is